I'm coming for all of you. Right now, there's a 15-year-old sophomore in high school who has no idea they're studying nursing just so they can wipe my ass in 17 years. I'm 50 and single. That's a fantastic combination. I'm going to spend my golden years dating a handful of spit and a jug of Astroglide.
Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-Year-Old Boy Podcast. Just me this week, at least for right now. Someone may burst in. Who knows? Perhaps a neighbor will wander by and poke their head into my house and see what's happening and figure out the fact that my fucking microphone is broken. Hi, how you doing? Do I sound weird? Do I sound strange? Does my sound sound ridiculous? That's a lot of sounds. I'm saying sound over and over. Here's the deal. Last week, I'm over at our good friend Dave Hernandez's house. David, I apologize. He was very upset with me last week. I called him Dave a couple of times at his house, and he's furious. And I get it, because if someone called me Mikey, I might punch them in the face. That seems like a strong fucking reaction for a 50-year-old man. Just because of a name. Hi, Mikey. Blam. Just like fucking let somebody have it. Blammo. Or any other Batman spinning sound you can fucking think of as I punch somebody in the grill. I'm at Dave's house last week. Now, I gotta warn you. Look, I know this is gonna sound fucking terrible. I know right now already you're cringing listening to my voice, and so it'll be I don't want to subject you to this torture. We'll see how long I talk with it like this, because I'll tell you what, I can hear it in my own fucking earbuds. Now, I know at some point someone's going to go, dude, I don't hear a difference. Like, you don't sound different at all. And then I'm going to fucking play some ridiculous prank where it's only me feeling ridiculous and sad because I think I can hear it in my earbuds. And you guys are going to be like, no, man, it sounds great. And then I'm going to fucking go to the doctor and they're going to be like, ha, fooled ya. And I don't want you to say that. Don't do that to me. Don't pull a prank on me. We're not prank people. You know that. I'm not a prank person. And we're not prank people. I'm comfortable doing that. I'm comfortable opening up my arms as wide as they could possibly go and embracing every listener of this show and saying, we are not prank people. Nobody here likes pranks. I just saw there was a thing where Dave Anthony was on Mark Maron's show. He writes on Mark Maron's show, the television show. And I guess they played a prank on him. And I'm sorry, I have a weird, I have a lip, a wet lip thing happening right now, and it's fucking gross. And every time I talk, I think, I'm popping peas, certainly, but also I feel like there's spit bubbling within my mouth and you can hear it. And also, that could also be part of this fucking new sound. This is the new thing. I'm ushering it in, folks. You know what I'm ushering into podcasts now? Bad sound. And how many times have I talked to you about this every fucking week and said, oh, it's very important to me that the show sounds professional and it sounds really good. And then, and this happens. It just fucking catches me by surprise. But I heard that Dave Anthony was pranked on the Mark Maron show. Now, I didn't see what the prank was, what the extent of the prank was. I think what they probably did was they told Dave that they all didn't believe in climate change, and he was furious. Follow Dave on Twitter. It's a funny follow. It's a great follow, and it's an educational follow. Listen to the Dollop, too. Why don't you do that? Because Dave's show is very educational. I'm going to be on the Dollop soon, as a matter of fact. I will be the guy standing outside window peering in at successful podcast. That's what I'll be billed as in the credits. Guy standing out window of studio peering in at successful podcast in progress. As opposed to guy sitting at desk with bad microphone and subjecting his listeners to this fucking torture. And I know that's a self-fulfilling prophecy, because the more I tell you guys how bad it is, the more you're going to go, you know what, now that he mentions it, yeah, this does sound fucking terrible. Although you might have been on it with the jump. Because you know what this sounds like to me? Here's what I tried to put it on, when I was telling people about it, it sounds like a wind chamber. By the way, telling people about it, you know what I do? I go door to door. I'm like, hey, I have a podcast. It sounds terrible this week. We don't want any, slam. Hey, how you doing? Do you know what podcasts are? No. That's a question I have to bring up all the time, by the way, because I'll be Ubering people around because I'm very successful, as you know. I work with broken equipment and I drive strangers around at night because I'm a fantastic guy and I've done everything possible to make the best choices for my fucking life. Bullshit. Fuck that. I was with Shannon today and I said, I'm proud of what I've done to a certain extent. I mean, you can't be that guy. You can't be, because before pride goeth a fall, or is it after pride goeth a fall? Well, the fall is it's September, so fall is on the way. And by the way, do you remember? Never mind. Earth, Wind, and Fire. I think I did that last week. I may have. Whenever I say September, because that's what I think of. I think of Earth, Wind, and Fire. I think of the opening for Van Halen or no, that was Cool in the Gang. Not Earth, Wind, and Fire. Apparently I'm the most racist man with 70s and 80s bands. I'm that guy. No, it was the Commodores. No, it was the Stylistics. Perhaps it was like 8 black dudes in matching suits, and I was tolerating them until Van Halen came on stage. And then weirdly enough, David Lee Roth came on wearing the same exact suit. He had borrowed Earth's suit. He borrowed Earth's clothing. Or maybe it was Wynn's. He may have had Wynn's clothing on. Not Fire's, though. Oh, my God, of course not. Because it's already enough people think Dave's a closet case, and nobody, if he wears Fire, they're going to be like, aha, see, look, he's a torch. And you can't have that. And when I say people think Dave's a closet case, there was an article, we've talked about it many times on here. There was an article on him a few years ago in a local Los Angeles publication, and they interviewed him at his mansion. And he's very Citizen Kane. He lives in a house with his sister. Although I know Citizen Kane didn't live in a house with his sister. I know he wasn't named Citizen Kane either. I've seen the film, I promise. But his name was Charles Foster Kane, and he lived in a house, and he had a sled and all that bullshit, but he lived in this giant mansion alone by himself. And that's how Dave is. He lives in this giant mansion, and I think his sister lives there because she's like his business person. And he splits his time. He lives half the time in Japan, and he lives half the time in Pasadena at his mansion. And I read the article, and it just seemed like the guy with a secret. You know what I mean? Like he was just walking on the periphery, on the cusp of coming out and saying all these things about himself, but he's still a mystery man. And I love it. I don't care. I don't want him to cop to anything. I don't care. He could be neck deep in pussy all the time, or he could be ears deep in cock, and I'm all over David Lee Roth. I don't care. I'm in. I just want to jump into that pile, wade through all the pussy and cock, and find him and ask him questions and be his friend. That's what I want to do. I want to be David Lee Roth's pal. I've talked about that before, like at the beginning of the show when I was talking about Pam Anderson, because for the longest time, that was absolutely my dick's destination. That was, if my dick had a return address, it was going to be fucking Pam Anderson's fucking pussy. I was all over it. I was so excited for the possibilities. And, but that was as a kid, or not a kid, I was a 40-year-old man. But I was thinking to myself, because obviously you got no shot. She's out of your league. And you have absolutely no chance of this happening. But there were, in my head, I was like, you always meet him on the way down, though. That's the deal. Like, if I somehow increased my popularity exponentially, because you always hear those weird couplings, like, there's that dude on Saturday Night Live who was banging Scarlett Johansson. And in your head, you're just like, well, I mean, he's probably a good-looking guy, and he's nice, and he's funny. But Scarlett Johansson? That just seems weird. That seems like trading in your fucking, like your fancy car for a parade float. Not even like a fancy sports car. Not even, trading your shitty car for a parade float. Don't trade in your fancy car for a parade float. Unless you are D-Day and you're going to drive it and cut the cake. And then when you do that, you'll just fucking have the Deathmobile and you'll rampage into the bleachers. And eventually you can get your thumb out of my ass anytime now, Carmine. That'd be great. I keep saying that'd be great. I don't want that to be the name of the show. Fuck. But also, you know what? Last week, I'll tell you what, this was refreshing when I worked with my friend David, who fucked up my computer. He was so mad. Like, he's not really mad, but I don't know. He might be. He's the fucking weirdest. Like I busted his balls about wearing hats once, and I heard about it for 8 months. Like, he just never forgot it. Because he's not used to, nobody, and as all of you know, once you get your turn in the barrel, and I elicit some sort of fucking violence against you, verbal violence, then you're just like, what the fuck? What, Mike? And I go, well, that's me. That's who I am. Dude, I got to look. I'm staring at Audacity right now, and the lines are so small. Like, there's no way this is going to be a real show. I mean, I can't. Well, that made the lines jump a little bit. The sound is so fucking bad. I can tell. I can hear it in my own goddamn head. It's this echoing wind chamber. I sound like, you know what it sounds like to me? I'm in the backyard while Lucy Liu and Uma Thurman are about to face off in Kill Bill. I sound as empty as that fucking well thing that dumped out the water. Is that a well or a fucking bridge? Not a bridge. What the fuck? How do I mix up a well and a bridge? Don't ever ask me to get water, folks. Holy fuck. Do not ask me to get any water. I will go to the bridge and never come back. So, I mean, it just sounds fucking terrible to me. And I apologize for subjecting you to this, but what I had planned on doing, I was like, well, I could just do a little fucking show and do some plugs and talk and do some stuff like that and then throw in an older episode so you guys will be tided over. But the overwhelming people in the fan, and I should also, by the way, I know how many listeners listen to this show periodically or weekly. I know who's listening and who's not listening. And then I put this up on Facebook, and look, half you people aren't even on fucking Facebook. So what happens is I send this out there, and I get like 30 people who are like, yeah, man, do a show. So then I'm like, oh, man, I got to do a show. But it's only 30. It's like it's like 1/20th of you people or whatever the fuck. But whatever. So we're talking, and we're doing the best we can. And we're going to go ahead and blaze through this as quickly as we possibly can. But I don't know why that would be a possibility either. What is that any less torture for you guys if I talk even faster in the wind chamber? But I wanted this to be good. I did. But I went last week. Here's what happened. I'll tell you exactly. We went to last week. We went to Dave's house. David's house. Fuck. I can't call him Dave. He hates it. Because that's like if people called me Mikey, I'd be fucking furious. There is no Mikey that can be allowed. Like I said, I'm going to punch you right in the face. There was one dude. Like I knew one dude who called me Mikey. I've talked about this on this fucking show. I've talked about everything on this fucking show. I'm all talked the fuck out. Why am I subjecting you to wind chamber? I should have just put up an old show from the greatest hits era when things were good, when it wasn't just me sitting in a room having alienated all the people I've worked with, making fun of their hats and whatnot, and getting thrown out of their house. But now here we sit. We do the show ourselves. We sit at a desk and we soldier through it. Because why? 30 people said I had to. Otherwise, I would have been putting up a rerun for you guys, and you would have been like, oh, luxuriating in the pleasant sounds and the dulcet tones and the audacity balance. Because here's the thing, I don't have a fucking producer anymore, guys. So I go to Dave's house last week. David's, fuck! We go to David's house we go to Mex's. I see, because if I call him Mex, it just seems like that's disrespectful, even though that's what I've called him for 35 fucking years. But you guys know him as David or Mex. Ah, fuck, he's Mex. Who cares? I'll just call him Mex. Who cares? He cares. Of course he cares. You care. Everybody cares. Who doesn't care? We all care. So I went there. God, this sounds so fucking bad. This just sounds like audio candy corn. That's how bad it is. I hate fucking candy corn, and this one sounds like, if you put candy corn in my ears, it would sound like this. Fuck. All right, so I'm going to think of all the things that I hate and what this sounds like compared to those. So I went to Dave's house. Fucking David. Fuck. God. I can't believe that's happening. I really can't. Now I'm just stuck in my own fucking loop. I'm stuck in a Dave loop. You know what? That's like if I call David, if I met David Lee Roth, do I call him Dave? I know that Van Halen calls him Dave, but I'm not that familiar with him. Unless he's banging me. Which he probably does 6 months out of the year in Japan. Like I said, he lives half the time in Japan, half the time in Pasadena. When he goes to Japan, nobody ever fucking sees him. He just disappears unless he's filming some movie in a dojo somewhere. And then the rest of the time, he just dives into a bathhouse and he gets rolled by Japanese cock. That's got to happen to Dave, right? Or maybe he goes to a geisha house and gets rolled in Japanese pussy. I don't know. The man's a mystery. He's a coin flip. Who knows? Now, if you read Noel Monk's Van Halen book, which I have not read, but I keep hearing anecdotes. I should read the fucking things. I keep reading like excerpts. But apparently Dave, he was waist deep in pussy back in the day. By the way, I just a couple of minutes ago, I put him neck deep in pussy. So you know why? Because I figure over the years he's acquired a lot more pussy. He's not just going to go waist deep. He's got to go neck deep. And that's the way you got to be if you're 63 years old. You don't want to move your arms. You want to have your arms pinned at your sides by all the free pussy that's fucking pressing you against the goddamn wall. Or free cock if you're Dave half the time. I don't mean to out him as this guy. And by the way, don't confuse Dave with David. Don't do that. And although they're both Davids. I should call one DLR and I should call the other one DMH. That's artbydmh.com. Go ahead and check it out right now. Have him draw a picture of himself mad at the fact that I keep calling him Dave for no fucking reason. Have him draw a picture of me in a wind chamber. Just fucking yelling while my hair and my face blow back as if there was some kind of fucking, I want to say EKG or CKG. What the fuck is that thing? When you're EEGs, what the fuck is it when you're in a plane? God, I'm old, so old. And if I had somebody with me here, they would be able to refresh my memory. But no, that's not the way it's going to be from now on. We sit here and we toil alone. I've had people suggest, this is funny, I had our great friend, a listener named Alan, and by great friend I mean a guy that sometimes pisses me off, but whatever the fuck. But he doesn't really piss me off, but who cares? I'm just a sourpuss. But you know me, because I'll put something on Facebook and I'm like, yay, everybody should worship me. And then someone else come in with their own joke or make fun of me and I'm like, fuck, what are you doing that for? And that happens sometimes with people and I forgive them going forward. But our friend Alan stepped up to try to help me, but I'll tell you initially about the other thing that I was talking about. The fuck was it? What was I saying? Alan, I don't even remember. Holy shit, I got fucking sidetracked. Zero gravity. Fuck. Ha 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 ha! Yes! That might be loud with the wind chamber mic. Zero gravity is what happens on the plane when your face goes all fucked up. See, my brain, it works, folks. It's sputtering along like a goddamn jalopy. My brain is speed buggy at this point. That's a pleasant noise in your fucking earbuds. But what was I was talking about Alan. All right. Well, two things. One, first of all, how shitty is it to call out a guy by name on a national comedy show and say he pissed me off? I mean, if I do it with faceless dudes, that's fine. But I know Alan's going to write me a tersely worded letter, and he's going to be very angry with me and upset. And I'll have to deal with that blowback, or I won't answer his email for 6 months like I usually don't. Not email, a Facebook message. And he was pleasant this week. He helped me out. He was like, he offered his services as a sound engineer because he heard all about this fucking terrible thing that's been going on. Because this has been going on for a couple of days, folks. I tried to do Anchor over the weekend, and this shit was happening with the fucking wind chamber microphone. Remember Anchor? Let's talk about that for just a second. Well, first of all, hold on. Let's talk about Alan. First of all, he had one idea, once it was clear that Lily had left the show as a producer. He's like, dude, you should totally do the show with like listeners. Like they should come in. It should be a Patreon thing. They should sit in the show and they should listen to it. And you know what? I like that idea to a certain extent, but then I really don't like that idea at all. First of all, I don't know how many listeners I have in Los Angeles and be willing to do something like that. Second of all, I don't. All right, I'll just say this. I did a show a couple of weeks ago in Canada, and I was in a room with a couple of listeners, a guy named John and a guy named Ken. Fucking awesome guys. You know John Floor, you know Ken Fairhall. I stayed at Ken's house. He's got a bulldog named Angus, Atlas, whatever the fuck. But I did the show for them, and it was fucking weird because I'm used to, if there's an audience, I want them to laugh, so I could hear them kind of snickering in the background. And then when the show came out, I thought I was fucking hysterical in that show. Like I thought it was really funny, but that was the show where I had unfortunately I killed our friend Rick, and then Rick was not happy, and then Rick and I had to have a powwow about it, and I explained to him, you know, what was up, and Rick to this day will say, no, dude, you totally didn't upset me, but in fact, I know I did, and I talked about it on the show, whatever the fuck. But at the same time, I didn't want to. I thought the show was really funny, like so. I didn't want to just throw it out there and just not get any good feedback. And then I got nothing really from that show. And again, this is oops. Oh my! See, dude, even my chin hitting the fucking microphone sounds like a fucking thud in my head. Because I want to be loved. I want to be worshipped. I want everybody to tell me how great I am all the goddamn time. So if I put out a show, like a 2-hour comedy show where I think I'm rolling and I'm fucking hysterical, by the way, that does not apply to this week. This show's a goddamn mess. This is a show with me just talking into a fucking wind chamber and hoping to God I can get through it. But other times when I'm fucking nailing it and I think I'm really rampaging, I'm like, yeah, this is fucking awesome. And then you get nothing afterwards. Maybe one guy's like, yay. Like waves a little pennant that says Mike on it. And that's okay. Because look, other podcasters are out there. They're confident. They got swagger. They're swinging around their podcast dick mics, and they're all happy about it. They got arenas sold out with their fans, and I just have you guys here, and I have to try to huddle around you for warmth. I'm that guy. Like I'm going to be the final podcaster. Eventually, there'll be the road. It'll be just like fucking Viggo Mortensen and his kid in a fucking shopping cart, and they'll be listening to me. I'll be talking somewhere in some underground chamber. I'll be like the Christian Slater of Pump Up the Volume, but in the road. Like I'll be that guy. I'll be the you know what? Oh, I'll be the disembodied lady voice from the Warriors. And I'll talk about Viggo Mortensen bopping his way back to Atlanta through the fucking apocalyptic nightmare that the world has become. And speaking of that is not far off. That me being the voice of the apocalypse, I think it's closer than we all think. Look out your fucking window, depending on where you live. This has been a hell of a fucking week, right? Hell of a month. First of all, we all know the tragedy that has become the American government. We all know what's going on there. And I talk about everybody, but mainly I talk about the fucking shit heel at the top of it, the hood ornament on this fucking jalopy that's about to go careening off to a cliff without even a good-looking fucking Thelma and Louise in the front seat to hold hands. It's just two coal miners just fucking jerking each other off and plunging into their fucking deaths as they think to themselves, coal would have saved us. Instead, they're just mad at the Browns. And I don't mean Cleveland. But man, what the fuck is going on? I mean, like we all know what's going on. Climate change. And people are like, nah, dude, there's no such thing as climate change. And look, I know I'm going to get mail from you guys because you're going to be like, dude, you're like not a scientist, man. Because apparently the dude from Big Lebowski is going to write me a note. Dude, you shouldn't be talking about like climate change because like you don't know anything about it and stuff. Hey, you're right. I don't know. I know fuck all about it. I know what I read. I know I believe in science. And I'm not stupid and arrogant enough to go to myself and go, hey, you know what? I'll bet I know something these fucking scientists don't know. I'll bet this fucking hot temperature bullshit is just because it's a bad summer. Well, we've had a lot of bad summers in a row. I mean, fucking pretty crazy. And the sun, and look, I know someone's going to be like, well, but it snowed in Alaska. Yes, I know, you and your fucking outliers. Yes, great. That's fantastic. In 5 years, when we're all in line waiting for shot glasses full of water to shower with and drink, and none of us get to brush our teeth anymore. Because I'll be honest, when that fucking happens, like I talked about with lice, when lice are prevalent, I will shave my head. And that day's coming. When we can no longer brush our teeth because water's being rationed, yank them out, get a fucking pliers and pull them the fuck out. I'll gum the fuck out of everybody. Me and David Lee Roth just gumming Japanese cock all over the fucking place over in Japan. That seems weird. Why would I turn gay? Why would pulling my teeth make me a gay man? That makes no sense. See, all right, look, listen. Like my chin hits the microphone, and even that sounds so loud in my head. Now look, do I have my headphones turned up loud? I do, because I like to hear myself loud. But also this fucking wind chamber, and I'll tell you this too. All right, so I should just tell you the whole fucking saga. Also, Alan said that people should come and watch me do the show, like hang out in the room, and then I could play it, like everybody could be like a stand-in Lily. Which, again, I love that fucking idea, but also I hate that fucking idea. Because what if somebody comes to do it and they fucking hate it? Remember that time I did a show? Dudes, think about this. There's like lost episodes of this fucking show that people forget. Remember when I did a show with one of Gio's buddies and his brother? Like, they came to produce the show at my apartment. And they just kind of sat there quietly as I did my thing. It was almost like being observed. You know what I felt like? I felt like fucking Heather Langenkamp in fucking Nightmare on Elm Street when she comes out of the dream holding Freddy's hat. I expected to come out of that podcast holding Freddy's fucking hat because the two of them were just observing me. They should have put all sorts of electrodes all over my head and my chest just going, man, what the fuck's going on with this dude? Because they just sat there staring. Like they looked at the blue lines on the Audacity because they didn't want to make eye contact with me as I talked about fucking rape or whatever the fuck. And look, I don't talk about rape very often. We know that. I table that discussion. Right now, that's off limits, certainly in this show, except for this. I got to tell you. All right, I'll get to that in a second. But first, let me tell you about our good friend Alan, who's already he turned this show off because I said he pissed me off. But he recommended that listeners could come in and go ahead and listen. So what the fuck? I guess I'm saying that because if you guys want to do that, if somebody actually thought that would be a good idea, what if I went on a tour? What if I went on a tour to certain cities and then tried to book a midweek show and then did a show in somebody's room? You know what, dudes? Let's talk about this for just a second. How many fucking ideas have I spouted out on this goddamn show that have never come to fruition? How much of a fucking dead end have I become? Jesus fucking Christ. And look, I know, I talked to Shannon today and she's like, you don't give yourself enough credit. You're way too fucking hard on yourself. But you know, I did my CD in 2012. I haven't done a live show since Pittsburgh fucking 2 years ago. Get the fuck out there, man. Oh, I did the Podfest. But even last year's Podfest was a cheat because I interviewed Rock Sugar. I could have done stories. I heard this story. A buddy of mine, Ted Lied, he's a comic. Fucking cool guy. But, he came to my show because he saw me a couple years ago and he was like, dude, what you do is magic. Like, it's ridiculous. I don't even know how the fuck you tell these stories. And you the way you work is he was really complimentary and almost in awe and impressed. And I loved it. I love getting that kind of respect from another comic and someone I know especially. It was really cool that he did that. But then he comes to the show last year and I got Rock Sugar on stage with me and he looks at a buddy of mine and he goes, what the fuck's going on here? He goes, well, Mike's having a band down. He's like, well, Mike's not going to tell stories? And he goes, no. And he goes, all right, I'm out of here. And he left. He left the show. Because I saw him leave and I was like, all right, that's fucking weird. Why would he, and then I thought maybe perhaps family emergency, because why else would you tear yourself away from my genius? But no, it turned out that he came to see a certain thing and he didn't get it. And so he took off and there's nothing fucking wrong with that. That's fine. But at the same time, in my head, I'm just like, no, God damn it. Why would you fucking leave? I'm a genius. But maybe he just wants to see me be a genius and not share the stage with 4 other geniuses from Rock Sugar and Lily Von Stubb. I get that. Maybe. But anyway, I haven't done a fucking show since last year's Podfest, which was, and I do 20, but I mean, that was just 20 minutes at a crack. And that's me talking in circles and talking to people in the goddamn audience. It's not really storytelling or what the thing that I want to do or should do. So I think to myself, man, what a fucking dead end. Because again, like I said, I just had that idea. I'm like, what if because remember I was going to go to Kansas City? Remember when that was a fucking cool ass idea? Yeah, that fucking fell apart. I was all excited about it. I had fucking show lined up. I had afterwards TV party with everybody lined up. I had fucking cool ass Kansas City extracurriculars for barbecue and all sorts of nonsense. It was gonna be fucking awesome. And then the theater got fucking sold and the whole show got yanked. Even though I had been assured that was not gonna be the case, and I announced the fucking thing, and then I looked like an idiot because it was also fucking shut down. Which made me mad and sad at the same time. And it may have caused a thing in my brain where I was like, God damn it. Because I was really looking forward to doing it, and then it fucking fell apart. But I mean, I guess I could look for another place in Kansas City. But also, and look, I owe you guys an apology. Let's just fucking talk about that right now. Let's do this before we get into Alan's other thing that I was talking about. Where he offered to help this week. All right, so I'll get to that in a second. But we're getting back to it with the microphone thing, because I'm doing this show with a shit microphone, and you guys are fucking hanging around, and it's nice, and I appreciate it. And you guys all encourage me to do it, even though you can hear this fucking tin-eared bullshit. Maybe adjust your fucking bass or treble. I don't know how it works. Figure out audio, but I should just have a microphone here. You guys Patreon me. You guys fucking pay me to do this fucking show now to a certain extent. Some of you do. I've got 95 people or whatever the fuck who send me money just expressly to show appreciation for the show. And then people who donate are people who send other things. And then there are people who still pay, stuff through Google or through PayPal, I should say. And, I've been fucking around with this for 3-4 days, and I'm like, man, I should get a microphone and all that. But I find myself at the end of the month, and I got caught a little short, and I'm like, nah, fuck, I can't get a microphone just yet. So I tried to get one by other means, and then other guys are like, David's giving me, David. He's telling me, he's like, dude, here's what you do. Go over to like this, I don't want to say the name of a chain, but he's like, go buy a microphone and then go home and record a show and then bring it back the next fucking day. Who cares? And I thought that was a good idea. But here's the thing. Once I finally decided that I was going to pull the trigger on getting a microphone, it was too late in the game. It was fucking Wednesday here. And the shows due fucking Thursday, and then I'm like, well, I could wait until Friday, but then I like to be professional and on time. But how professional is it if I'm talking to goddamn fucking tin can to you people? It's not professional at all. I apologize for this show. And I'll be honest with you, this show does not count against your purchase price. How about that? I throw that out there for you right now. If anybody... I'm not going to go that route. That's a little strong. But if I'll tell you what, how about we do this? If you're a Patreon subscriber, and if you're underneath like $5 or less, and you want a refund for this month, I'll do that. I mean, that makes sense. If you're somebody who's like $10 and up, I can give you half back, but I mean, I can't do it yet because I just said that I don't have money to buy a fucking microphone. And you're thinking to yourself, well, where's the money we sent you, motherfucker? And that's my own fucking fault because I use it to live. Like, I mean, but also I don't just use it to live like I'm eating crusts of bread. I mean, I fucking, I got my trainer, I got fucking Shannon, and all this stuff. And also I've been caught short, like driving, I went to Chicago last weekend and I should be fucking driving. I'm fucking mad at myself. So the point is I owe you guys an apology because, you shouldn't have to put up with a shitty fucking show. 95 of you have paid me to do this goddamn show, and anybody who contributes via PayPal, again, so like honestly, truthfully, if you're a Patreon subscriber or you're somebody who donates through the fucking PayPal, contact me and we'll work something out. I'll give you some money back. And I won't be able to do it to the end of the month when the payment gets fucking put in for October or whatever. But I'll make sure. I don't want to do this in a way where you guys think that you've been cheated in some fucking way. So I will. I refunds. You know what I mean? Like I said, anybody $5 and under, if you want a refund, you got it. Anybody over that, I can give you half back. Or fuck that. I guess I can give you all your money back. Fuck if you want. But fuck that. No, because this is only 1 week out of the month. So let's prorate it. So anybody $5 under, I'll refund you if you want that for the month of October, or the month of September. But anybody who's 15 or $10 and over, we'll prorate it. So I'll give you 1/4 of your money back if you want it. Because again, like I said, this show does not count against your purchase price. It should not happen. Now, if you don't give anything, fuck you. Quite frankly, enjoy my wind chamber fucking nonsense. Take that and run it to the bank. Take that with your zero contribution to this fucking show financially. You know what? If you guys stepped up, I'd have bought a fucking microphone. How about that? Take that. If you guys had fucking stepped up, if more than 95 people had gone ahead and kicked in, and I wasn't paying my fucking trainer what I'm paying him and paying Shannon to fucking climb around into my head with a goddamn spoon, then we'd be fine. We'd have a fucking microphone. We'd be out of a wind tunnel. All right, I gotta slow down. Yeah, that's right. That's what works. You gotta slow down. But yeah, this show does not count against your purchase price, and I don't blame you. You've probably turned this fucking thing off. You probably threw your fucking iPod out the window like fucking Lane Meyer in Better Off Dead as he tossed his radio out from hearing too many fucking love songs. Just threw it out there, baby. She's gone. Oh, I. So Alan stepped up and he was like, "Hey man, people should come listen to you." So and I want, like I said, I want to do. The Patreon money should go back into the fucking show because that's what it used to do. Back in the old days when I had fucking, I had a 2-income house when I was married, all the money that came to the show went into the show. And then I was using, I was a 3-income family because anything that came from the show went back into the show, but then I was working at Graveyardville or whatever the fuck. Now, and also I won't lie, I slacked off driving in October or in August. I was like, yeah, all right, this works out great. But now I have to have discipline. I need a schedule. And like, how many times have you guys fucking heard that? I keep saying, how many times have you heard dead ends shit and things that I promise and things that are ideas? Like, I mean, I love the idea of going out and performing in somebody's house. That's a fucking brilliant idea. I think it's great. I gotta be honest, nobody fucking stepped up and went, come to my house, dude. And I don't blame you. But that sounds like a fun thing for me to do. Like, and look, I'm not this arrogant, but like, remember in Almost Famous when fucking Billy Crudup showed up at that dude's party and then just jumped off the roof into the pool or whatever, and he's like, I am a golden god. I'll do that at your house. I'll show up if you got a bunch of people fucking doing keg stands, and I'll do a podcast dinner while you guys are all shouting at me. I just watched this comedy show. This is fucking weird. It was called Flophouse. I think it was on Vice, and it was a stand-up show. And it was filmed in people's houses and backyards, and it made me fucking furious because, like, here again, I'm thinking, oh man, I got this awesome idea where I'm going to Fugazi it and go there. No, there's a group of comedians in Los Angeles who do a show out of their house, and they've like spray painted the walls and like all this crazy shit. And Vice filmed there, and Spike Jonze is hanging out, and it's Solomon Giorgio, funny people, you know what I mean? Maria Bamford was on, And it was great. I was like, dude, that's a fucking cool ass thing. I'd love to do something like that because I've done backyard shows before. You know, my friend Karen Rontowski does these rehab backyard shows where it's, it's battered wives and whatever the fuck who gets together in a backyard. They hide from their husbands and they want to laugh. That's how they do it. Or battered husbands who want to hide from their wives, or alcoholics who are recovering, or drug addicts who don't want to take the fucking spike. They want to sit in the backyard and listen to me talk in goddamn circles. So I love doing that kind of thing. And then they had a show from New Orleans where they talked about the New Orleans comedy scene, and then all these guys performed in the backyard. And then Sean Patton was on, and Sean Patton, quite frankly, told a fucking story a bit. It was a bit, obviously, but it didn't get nearly what it deserved. And granted, it's because it's in a fucking backyard with like 18 hipsters, but it was a little more than that. But he told this bit about the roommates and the fucking almost like a gay chicken thing, dude. It was so goddamn great. Sean Patton, that's a dude. He's a fucking machine. That's one of the funniest dudes in the world. I've seen him live twice. I had to follow him, and oh, what a mess that turned out to fucking be. But that's my own fault because I don't do the work. Because, like I've told you before, glory days, I followed Ron White and did great. But now, out of all rusty, now I'm begging to play in your goddamn bedroom with my laptop and show it with my old equipment. Hey, can I come and use your kitchen table and talk, and you can pretend to laugh while you're making soup? That would be fantastic. So let's talk you through this saga. I went last week to go record some stuff over at Dave's place. David's place, mother fucker. Why? Why is my brain just stuck on that? It's fucked. So I went to David's place to go record and watch the fight. We wanted to watch McGregor and Mayweather. Was that last week? Yeah, it was last week. And he, we usually recorded his place on these fucking zip discs, which are these weird, it's this antiquated system that only he knows how to use still. It's almost like cuneiform. It's the Chisholm Bop of fucking recording, because it's a dead language. Nobody else knows how to fucking do it except Dave. So usually when I go there, we record on these zip discs, and then he transfers them over. And then he sends me the audio file. Well, now he bought like a fucking scramble box. He's like, dude, this fucking Slingbox thing, it's going to be awesome. What you do is you plug in your two microphones and you plug it into the USB splitter and you plug it into your laptop and everything works out great. And then both of our voices can show up. And, I feel guilty when I do the show at his place because he has to do all the work. Again, I wind up getting to talk, and then he has to go listen to the whole show through to make sure it didn't fucking drop on the discs. And then he has to transfer the fucking thing. So it causes him, because we wind up talking. Sometimes we talk 90 minutes, sometimes we talk fucking 3 hours. I think I've done a 3-hour show over at his place, and then he's got to listen to the whole fucking thing, which is what Lily used to have to do. And you'll notice neither of them are here now. They fucking completely bailed, and I don't blame them. So he's like, let's use the scramble box and let's plug it in. So we were in the cat house. That's where we record all the stuff, and we plugged it in. And I opened Audacity, and Audacity read it right away, and then I Googled it, and I had to open System Preferences, and I had to do, here's the thing, I opened System Preferences, and I made some changes. I don't know what the fuck I did. I turned something up, I turned something down, I made it acknowledge the fucking scramble box, whatever the fuck I did. But I did it without taking like a photograph. I usually take you know how when you move, you go behind your television and take a photograph of where all the fucking plug-in shit goes? And then when you finally get in your new place, you go, okay, we'll break out the fucking schematic and let's plug in all the shit so we can watch Roku. Well, I did not do that. I should have fucking done it. But I just foolishly assumed it would all go back to the right fucking setting. I don't know why. I thought it would just be, a one-time record thing and then yay, System Preferences, because it knew my preferences. They would go back to what they were. So we set up the scramble box and we recorded. And we did a couple of sound checks, and we heard that his voice was coming out fine, my voice was coming out fine. We listened through the laptop. We didn't listen with earbuds. We only listened via the laptop. And we said, yeah, fuck, we have the same amount of output, and it sounds good. And then we did the fabulous show that you happened to tune into last week. And then when we finished, Dave's like, hey, man, we should do another show. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, man, so just in case something happens, you'll have a backup show on deck. And I go, dude, I don't like working like that. And he's like, well, yeah, but it works out for you. This way you'll have a show. I go, yeah, but the shows, I don't do evergreen shows. I just don't. I want to do shows that are in the moment. We talk about stuff that's happening. And look, that's 95% true, and 5%, I didn't want to do another fucking comedy show. We had bits to write and we had stuff to record, and we had just done 2 hours. So in my head, I was like, I don't know if I got another 2 hours in me again. And Dave's always just like, shut up and talk. David's always like, shut up and talk. And I'm like, yeah, that is awesome sometimes. And sometimes, like this week, it's not so awesome. as I've just guaranteed everybody their fucking money back for the goddamn month or a quarter of the month. So he was like, we should do a backup show, and I kind of tooth and nailed him out on it a little bit, and then we didn't do it. We wanted Brighton Bits instead and recording, and also, you know, I get a little fucking low-key when I go to his place, and I just want to hang out and you know, listen to the boy play his video games and watch TV and have fun, and talk to his wife because I enjoy speaking to Kristen, and then just have a good time. But he's always like, we got to work, dude. We got to write. You want to write? You want to go downstairs? We got to write. We got to work. And so it's, you know, he's cracking the whip, and then that turns into a thing, and I, knowing I needed to have more discipline, I was like, look, I want to go upstairs and write for a little bit, and we wrote, and then we'd go downstairs and we record, and we did a fuck ton of stuff, and you'll be hearing it over the coming weeks. Some of it might be on Anchor, some of it might be here, but well, no, fuck that. Some of it will be on Anchor, some of it will be here. Perhaps you'll hear some of it at both. But yeah, we recorded a ton of stuff, and we had a good time doing it, and we had fun writing. We wrote till fucking 2, 3 in the morning. As a matter of fact, the last day I was there, we stayed up until 4 in the morning because I had to be at the airport at fucking 5. So we rode until 3:30, 4 in the morning, and then we drove out. But then I got home, and everything was fine. You know, I worked all week, and I was here, and I was taking care of business. And then I set up, my laptop was set up. I was playing music through my Anchor speaker, Anchor, A-N-K-E-R, not A-N-C-H-O-R, not like Anchor Station. Please do not think that Anchor compensated me with a speaker of some sort, because that did not happen. But Anchor, A-N-K-E-R, I bought a Bluetooth speaker from them online, and it works out very well. Except for the fact that my fucking Wi-Fi is so fucking weak in my house. I can't figure that out. Dude, I gotta call AT&T. First I'm gonna call A. Then I'm gonna call T. Perhaps I'll call the second T, because I don't think I'll ever get all of them on the phone at the same time. But if I can get at least one of them and give them my grievances, perhaps they'll step up. Because, man, my fucking internet quits. You know, and you know what quits at the worst fucking times? You guys know I make shower playlists, and I go in and I play music. Well, the thing is, I recently have been going in there to go ahead and do this, and then the fucking song will quit like halfway through. I mean, I'm in there for a good 3 songs, or until I can leave. You know, it's like I told you, if it's a shitty song, I won't get out of the shower. But when I'm there in the shower and it's playing, I'm excited, and then all of a sudden it fucking just bails, like in the middle of an Arcade Fire song or something, which, you know, granted, could be the speaker just going, fuck you, I hate Arcade Fire, and with this new one, I guess I wouldn't blame them, but the old fucking song, like the album Suburbs and shit, oh my god, those first couple albums are really good. Although I don't know how Arcade Fire lasts. Then they have 75 people in that fucking band, and then I heard this new album kind of tanked. It's like, how are you paying these people? Perhaps they'll play live, but then they had a controversy now in New York where they put up was there a dress code for an Arcade Fire show? Dude, there's so much news just flying through my fucking head at any given time. You go to Twitter, any social media fucking site, and you see these fucking stories. I'm like, all right, so North Korea has a hydrogen bomb and Arcade Fire has a dress code. Am I understanding this correctly? I hope so. And then we're sending back all the dreamers, but I'm not the only one. I'm sure someday you'll join us, and then the world can live as one, just not in this fucking country, apparently. And I'm not going to debate DACA with you guys, or DACA. Or maybe I am. Maybe that's what I do. I go house to house and I do a political show right in your goddamn kitchen, and we talk about DACA. Let's talk about TACA, and let's talk about MAGA, and DACA. DACA, 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 and TACA, 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 and HAGA, DACA, DACA, and MAGA, 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 and MAGDA, 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 and WACA, WACA, WACA. Let's talk about all of these things. These are all very important, and they all look good on hats. So when I went to record Anchor over the weekend, because I wanted to jump back into the fucking swing of it, I wanted to jump back and kiss myself. I found that there was sound problems, sound issues, and I could not fix them. And I kept dicking around and I kept trying, and it wasn't working. And I don't have anybody to bother with that anymore. You know, I used to go to Lily and I would say, hey, look, there's this computer thing and it's kind of fucked and I don't know what's happening with Audacity and my gain and everything else. And she would always be level-headed, and she was a tech person. She was smart, or she knew somebody who knew something. Then there's Gio, who's a great friend of the show. You know, Superfan Gio, not Superfan of me, but Superfan of others. He's a guy that usually steps up for me tech-wise, but also this dude, he lives where the raging fires are right now, where the fucking, you know, he's up north. He sent me a fucking chart, like his air quality, it's 370 parts bad, or whatever the fuck that means. I don't know. Basically, the point is, he lives in a fireplace. Like, he's inhaling soot at all times. He's just going to wind up with black lung just living in an apartment, which is fucking crazy. But I contacted him about helping me out. And, well, first of all, I talked to Alan about it, because I talked about the Anchor thing online. And Alan said, hey, man, you know, I could probably help you out. I'm a sound engineer. I said, that's cool, except I don't know what it is. And he's like, well, maybe you got to buy a microphone, maybe you got to go. He gave me a ton of advice, and it was all very good advice. He's like, listen to this, do this, look for the data and the gain and whatever the fuck. And I tried a lot of it looking at what he told me to do, but I'm awful. And I think I have ADD, and I'm kind of a fucking scramble head. And so learning and following directions, I was very lucky that I got Audacity put into my computer, and then Lily taught me how to use it. And its settings were its settings. I never had to fucking worry about it. I knew how to record the show. I knew how to edit the show. I knew how to build the show if I had to. Or I'm sorry, how to edit the show if I had to, and I knew how to build the show and make it work. So I knew that kind of thing. I knew how to normalize, and I knew how to do all the effects that I needed to do. Whatever needed to happen, I could do that stuff as long as it stayed the right way. But by going in last week and fucking with this thing and making it all scrambled up, you have what you hear now. You have me sounding like a dinner plate breaking. It's fucking awful. So I contacted Gio, and he's like, try this. And he keeps saying, well, we'll talk to Dave and see what Dave did. And I'm like, dude, Dave didn't do anything. David did nothing. He was there. He looked over my shoulder. I did a few things, and that was it. And we recorded a show. He's like, well, what was this box? I go, dude, I have no fucking idea. I don't know. I don't know why the box could fuck things up. But I'll tell you this. Here's when I knew there was a problem. Because I have an Audio-Technica microphone. Why not throw them a fucking bone right now? As the week that it doesn't work. And so it would read in my Audacity as AT USB 2020. And that was the input. You could either use the built-in input, you could use that, or it has, other Bluetooth stuff that I have in my house. Well, once I get home from David's place, I fucking plugged it in, and it said USB PNP microphone, USB PNP sound device. And it's not recognizing the actual microphone. So I bought, you know what, fuck this. I actually skipped a whole chunk of this. When I sat down, I had no microphone because of the cord that comes with it. I was plugging it into the laptop, and it was barely reading it, and then it wouldn't record. And then all of a sudden it disappeared, and it didn't read it at all. That was over the weekend. That was when that's why I couldn't do the fucking Anchor stuff, was because the microphone cord was fucked. And so I contacted, and they're like, well, it sounds like a cord problem. You should get a cord, and, Geo's do this and order this. So I ordered a cord from Amazon. And then that came in, and now the computer could recognize this, but then it was recognizing it as USB PNP, whatever the fuck. And so then Gio's like, maybe I bought a cheap Chinese cord. I'm like, dude, I bought the fucking cord they had. What am I, fucking Trump? I'm going to buy a gold cord? I don't know a fucking thing about this. Is there what am I, Electro? I'm going to fucking put my finger on it and make it work? I bought what they had on fucking Amazon. And he's like, don't get a cord for less than 6 or more than 15. Well, this was like sweet spot. It was like 8. And then I paid an extra $5 to get it delivered the next morning so I could go ahead and record some Anchor stuff because fuck. But then I had this tin-ear bullshit that sounded like a guy fucking hitting a dinner bell. And I was like, God damn it, I sound awful there. Literally, this sounds like a fucking sagebrush guy hitting a triangle and calling everybody to fucking vittles. It's just terrible what my voice sounds like. So, I told him that, and he's like, well, this cord should be fine, and try this. And then he's like, you got to, this happens to me like 4 or 5 times a year. He goes, your mic's probably bad from traveling. That's what the cord happened. Maybe the mic got also fucked up too. And he goes, it happens to me. I packed the mic in foam, and it happens where I can't use it anymore. It's happened like 5 or 6 times with different mics like yours. I'm like, oh man, that's not encouraging. Plus I've had this fucking microphone for 3, 4, 5 years, whatever the fuck it is. And not a problem. Which I guess is a problem in itself. I should realize, hey, you know what, man? Maybe you got to get a new microphone sometimes. That's why people give you Patreon money, you fuck. Why don't you apologize to everybody and offer to give them their fucking money back, you dick? I can hear Shannon right now. Literally, Shannon just woke up somewhere, and she's just like, I can't believe Mike's saying this to himself. He should be nicer to himself. You're right, Shannon. You're goddamn right. So I tried to make it work, and the mic didn't work. The cord didn't read. I was doing whatever he was telling me to do. And then he said, you got to uninstall Audacity. I said, dude, don't fucking make me do that. And he's like, why? I said, because I can't uninstall Audacity. Because what if I uninstall it? Because here's the thing. Again, you guys give me money for the show, so I shouldn't be investing it in the goddamn show. I have an old laptop. My laptop's from like 2007. It's 10 years old. Just like my car. This microphone. I'm just dragging old shit all over the fucking place. I'm a 50-year-old man talking to a 10-year-old microphone into a 10-year-old laptop, driving a 10-year-old car, and behaving like a 10-year-old half the fucking time. So I told him, I go, don't make me uninstall Audacity. He said, why? I said, because, dude, I've maxed out my operating system. I know I'm going to fucking remove this, and then I'm going to try to download Audacity, and it's going to go, no, you can't use it, sorry. Because, again, I told you it bricked my phone. It won't read my phone. It's doing weird shit to my iPod now, where I go to charge my iPod, and instead it takes songs away. I don't understand that at all. It'll charge my battery on my iPod, but then I'll take it off and there'll only be like 11 songs out of fucking 12,000 that initially had been on it. So then I have to go back in and fucking dick with it, and it's just, it's a hassle, and nobody likes a hassle, but that's what you got when you're working with old equipment. But also, I can't be updating my goddamn equipment all the goddamn time, because again, folks, like I said, I have very important therapy bills to pay. Actually, you have very important therapy bills to pay, except this month you're all getting it back at Discount Mike for Everybody. I should write that down. Hold on, let me write that down. That's the name of the show. It's Discount Mike for Everybody. I should just write down the time code so I remember when that is, but instead I'm going to write down it's Discount Mike for Everybody, because last week I had Dave did it. It was great. And he was awesome. He was on the ball and helping me out with that. It's Discount Mike for Everybody. Name is written down. So unprofessional, and why not? Especially with the fact that I'm blowing a goddamn vuvuzela in your ear. Why wouldn't I let the sound just be the same as the unprofessional writing in the middle of the goddamn show? So I told you I don't want to unload Audacity, man. I don't want to fucking down. And he's just like, do it. You got to do it. I have to do it like 5-6 times a year. And I'm like, dude, you got a lot of shit that you got to do 5-6 times a year. But I just went, you know what? Fucking do it. I mean, and so I did. I uninstalled Audacity and I threw it out. And then I emptied the trash. And then I went, why'd you empty the trash? You could have dragged it the fuck back out. But I went to their website, downloaded it for the back, and opened it up. Now, here's the thing. You know, I downloaded it in 2014, so that's, 3 years ago? I opened it up. It's one of those things where it sort of looks the same. Like, I mean, it does fit, and it looks okay, but at the same time, it's also just fucking awful. I mean, it's just, there's this thing that's different, and this thing that's different, and there's a weird green thing on the top that wasn't there before. At least I didn't notice it, and I started to record, and unfortunately it didn't recognize the microphone. It recognizes it again as USB PNP sound device microphone, and so I wrote you, and he's just like, well, you need a new microphone, and that's where we're at now. And so then by the time that all happened, it was late last night, and I was going to order it from Amazon to try to get it same day, but there was no way to get it same day, and then I was going to go out and look for it here, and I just I should have done it. I should have gotten a new microphone. I shouldn't be subjecting you to this fucking thing. But instead, I put it up for people, and I said, look, I can do... Because I was shocked that the audio thing came back. Like, even today, when I sat down, I was like, hoping somehow that the new re-download of Audacity, everything would fix it. Because that's what I do. I hide under the coats and hope. I sit there and I go, maybe tomorrow morning it'll be different. Maybe when I wake up, that'll be fucking changed. Maybe the laptop fairy will come and leave me a 2017 laptop and a new microphone, a microphone fairy. I got a lot of fairies bursting into my house. I got a fucking microphone fairy, laptop fairy, perhaps a car fairy, all these fairies. Brian Fairy, maybe Brian Fairy will come in. He cannot. He's very busy at Avalon. So I'm here with you and this. And look, I recognize it could be a lot worse. There are people out there that are having terrible fucking things going on in their lives. There's hurricanes, there's tropical storms, there's fires. Dude, there's fires in like 9 different states. Like Washington, I think, fucking Oregon, here. Dude, that fucking fire Friday, you know, I went to the gym Friday morning, and then I came and hid in my air conditioning because it was 106 degrees here, and I was like, fuck it. So I sat in the house, I did some stuff here, I had some work to do, and then sure enough, man, I went out to drive that night at 10 o'clock. I picked a dude up, I get on the 101, and there's this fucking orange wall just across the hills by Burbank. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, because I had seen it. You know, it's one of those things where when you see it on the news or you see it on social media or you see your friends posting pictures from their yards, you're like, fuck, that looks scary. But, you know, it's probably far away. And then you get in the car and then you just see the night lit up by these orange fucking fires. It's devastating, man. And I live far away. I was just getting ash on my car. I wasn't doing anything like going out to my yard and having to hose down everything so it didn't catch on fire just from the fucking crosswinds. So, I mean, it is fucked out there right now. It is terrible. And so I recognize coming to you and telling you all about my ridiculous fucking nonsense with my microphone is probably foolish. But no more foolish than me doing a show with a microphone like this. I shouldn't have done it. And like I said, this will not count against your purchase price. Contact me. You can get me at Mike Schmidt, care of David Lee Roth, Pile of Japanese Cock, Tokyo, Japan. Fuck. You guys can get me at Mike at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You've endured enough torture. I'm sorry. I'm closing this out now, and we'll close up strong on the back end probably. You guys can get me at Mike at MikeSchmidtComedy.com. You guys can be my friend at Facebook.com/the40-year-old boy. You can follow me at Twitter.com/the40-year-old boy. You can find me at Instagram and Snapchat. I'm Mike40YOB. That's Mike40YOB at Instagram and Snapchat. I'm going to tell you a Snapchat story right now. There's a listener to this show. I don't know if she wants me to say her name, but she wrote me on Snapchat today, and she's like, basically something like, "Hey, jerk, I want to have a fight. Nobody here will have a fight with me." So I had a fight with her. I had a Snapchat fight with some person I've never met in my life. And here's my favorite part. She lives in New Mexico, and I made fun of her green chili thing, and she's just like, first of all, they don't make green chili soup, stupid. You probably make green chili stew. And I wrote her back, and I said, "Oh, did I say green chili soup? I meant green chili fuck you." Because we're having a fight, and I even wrote in parentheses, "We're still having a fight, right?" Because I mean, me, she said mean shit to me, and then I'm like, "Well, we're having fun here, right? In this fight?" And then she wrote me back, and she goes, "Yeah, we're still having a fight." I said, "Okay, good." So then I can say green chili fuck you, which I really wanted to do. Should that be the name of the show? Green chili fuck you, perhaps? Who knows? But if you want to fight with me on Snapchat, or send me a photo of the Vietnamese secret police, or send me a note that tells me about a car that's been in a parking lot by your work for 3 years. Photos are always welcome. Anything you guys want to send me. I love seeing your backyards. Our friend Lisa Phillips showed me her yard. She sent me a picture of her doggy. Our friend Jamilton sends me pictures of her baby. Look, everybody's nice. Please find me on Snapchat and Instagram, Mike40YOB. And I'm there. I'll send you stuff back. I don't send photos back. I just send back chats, because nobody wants a picture of me. Actually, no, I did send a photo. I sent a photo to, who was it? Fuck. I sent a photo of the show once in progress. I know that. I swear to God, I sent another photo. Fuck, I don't remember. Okay, so anyway, the point is I'm here. I have a camera on my phone. If you want a photo, tell me. I'll smile. I'll give you the dimple. I'll give you the Schmidt fucking smirk. Who the fuck wants that? Who's like, please send us the Schmidt smirk on Snapchat. We demand to see your dimple. That's a lot of alliteration. Send us the Schmidt smirk on Snapchat. We demand to see your dimple. Roger Otter, what's your Vector Victor? All right, so get me at Instagram and Snapchat. I'm Mike40YOB and all those other fucking addresses I told you about. Our friend David Hernandez, David Hernandez is a badass. Does all the music. He does all of the artwork for this show. He just came up with a concept for a sketch that's going to blow you guys away eventually. Will I play it now? I don't know. We'll do something. Something new is coming up. Stick around. Why wouldn't I waste it on this fucking show with the bad sound? You can find him at facebook.com/DavidMexHernandez. Go ahead and be his friend there. Have him be your pal. You can find him at artbydmh.com. That's ARTBYDMH.com. And have him be your friend and send him notes there and say, look, I want you to do some custom artwork for me, and he'll do it. He'll paint you. He'll paint your friend. He'll sculpt you. He'll sculpt your friend. He'll play piano for you. He'll play piano for your friend. Looks like your friend is getting a lot of equal treatment here. I don't like it. Put your friend on the back burner. Take care of yourself, folks. But no, Dave does all the art. Go to artbydmh.com, ARTBYDMH.com. He's got finished pieces. He's got Valscapes. He's got Gycons. He'll do custom pieces. Whatever you guys require or need or want, David is there to help you out. So please contact him at artbydmh.com. Please remember Ryan Dirks is the web dude for this show. He does all the web stuff. I wish he was the tech guy. I wish he was a microphone guy. I'd have contacted him this week because I do owe him an email. As you all know, I owe everybody a fucking email. So Ryan Dirks, you can get him at facebook.com/Ryan Dirks. And please remember that our good friend Superfan Geo is the coolest. He does his thing, and he takes care of our audio stuff. He tried his best to help me this fucking week, and it didn't work. Even through a dog bite, even through heavy fucking smoke and fires by his place, he was still willing to text me and tell me all about the things that he needed to take care of that he didn't take care of. Thanks a lot, Gio, for fucking nothing. But you can find him at facebook.com/Giovanni Giorgio Peluso. Facebook.com/Giovanni Giorgio Peluso. That's Superfan Geo. Not superfan of me, but superfan of others. Please remember he's got his podcast called Pod Gods. And he's got his other podcast. He handles all the Adam Carolla Loveline stuff. And he was going to put out, because I did an interview on a couple of those shows, and he was going to put it out there for you guys. So I don't know if he did or he didn't, or if it's going to happen, whatever. Keep an eye out for it. Subscribe to his show. Why wouldn't you? He's the best. And please remember, folks, that I am on Anchor FM. Anchor.fm, I should say, the Anchor app. Fuck the website. You don't give a shit about the website, but more importantly, get the Anchor app on your phone and listen to Bite Size Me, man. A lot of cool ass stuff. There'll be new stuff that you don't hear on this show. There'll be me just talking and this little soundbite stuff, and I'm dealing with it in a way where I'm cutting it lower and lower. Like I was doing 5-minute chunks, and then I thought, well, I'll do 3-minute chunks. Then I'm doing like 90-second chunks like they wanted. It's just fun to experiment with it. But I will tell you this, I don't have long to experiment with this fucking thing because I had a talk with the people at Anchor, and they were very nice to me. And They were like, hey, Mike, your unique listeners are pretty good. We love your content, but we're going to give you another month. So I'm telling you guys, if you don't have Anchor on your phone yet, if you downloaded Anchor to your phone and you listen to our clips, that would be fucking fantastic. It would really help me and help the show out. And it would probably help me buy a microphone in the future, because then obviously some talent scout is scouting Anchor and going, I need 90-second comedy stat. I need 90 seconds of brilliance. Who's putting it out there? Is it the guy reading news from Singapore, or is it this 40-year-old boy character? 40-year-old boar. Boy, have I ever characterized the show better in a certain week than right now when I called it the 40-year-old bore? I don't think I did. This is the 40-minute bore, for fuck's sake. So please, I throw it out to you. If you don't have the Anchor app yet, go to Anchor, wherever your iTunes store and stuff like that is, and download it. And every day there will be content from me. I'm saving stuff as episodes so you can hear older stuff that we've done. And also every day I'll put out a new thing. And I've been having a lot of fun using the old bits and then actually doing a ramp up for them in the beginning. I love doing it. It's really fantastic. And your support would allow me to be able to continue doing it. So get the Anchor app and put it on your phone. Listen to all the cool stuff that we put out. Listen to other shows too. Our friend Dylan was inspired to start a wrestling show. So go ahead and jump on there and listen to Dylan's show. There's all sorts of cool people on Anchor. And again, it's all bite-sized stuff. You're fucking bored anyway. You're watching Snapchat stories that are 30 seconds long. So why not listen to a fucking Anchor thing? Especially when they're coming from me. I'm a genius. You know that. You love me. And the sound quality will be even better. Probably not coming through your fucking phone. I can't imagine what this sounds like through your fucking phone. Actually, I did an Anchor clip today, and I even said, fuck, man, this isn't even like a show. This is like me talking to you in a treehouse. You're on one side of it with a can. I'm on the other side with another can, and we're just fucking, I'm trying to tell you bits. So please, download the Anchor app. I gotta quit saying please. It sounds fucking needy, right? I don't mean it to sound that needy. Whatever the fuck. Get the Anchor app and listen to it. But if you want to get your own show, or you want to learn all about Anchor, or if you want to find me on Anchor, you want to find my station on the web because you're an old person like me and you like using the computer rather than your phone for stuff, you can get me at anchor.fm/Mike40YOB and check out our logo and our stuff. And I believe you can actually hear the stuff on the air right there on the laptop. It's better to do it on your phone because then they're able to count unique listeners and things like that. So put it on your phone and listen to me there. But if you must, go to anchor.fm/Mike40YOB.
First, there was Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy. Then the sequel, The Captain and the Kid. Now Bernie Taupin and Sir Elton John proudly present the long-awaited completion of the trilogy, Spaghetti and the Lupus Ghost.
Hey kids, hope that you were ready. About to tell you something about this crazy cat Spaghetti. His partner got a wicked rash up on his face. Ooh, he's a phantom with a mouth ulcer hovering in space. Say, Candy and Ronnie, do you smell them yet? Oh, they're so spaced out. Spaghetti and the Lupus Ghost. Oh, the weird and wonderful. The Lupus Ghost is swollen nodes. Spaghetti is the boss. A tomato sauce. You know it like it when the car explodes. Spaghetti and the Lupus Ghost.
I would like to remind you guys about the Monday Night Teas on Monday nights at the 3 Clubs on Vine at Santa Monica, but I can't because this week on, Monday the 4th, that was the final Monday Night Teas. Lily did not tell anybody it was going to be the final one. I actually thought she was going until January because I knew she had canceled the show, but I thought she was going to do shows, and we didn't talk. So, I just assumed she was going to go all the way until January for her anniversary and then end it then. And I thought she'd bring back other shows, Tarantino and all that stuff. But she pulled a fucking end around, and Monday was the final show. So you can actually go onto her page and stuff at Facebook and see a lot of clips. Go to facebook.com/Monday Night Teas. I think there are clips there. But she had all of her fucking badass all-stars there. She had Nikita and Egypt and Sheila and all these fucking great performers. Rob the Balloon Guy and Eddie was there. It was a fantastic celebration and a great night for her. A sad night, certainly, but it was a fantastic night to go out on because standing room fucking only and a badass show. She was able to do clips and put up all sorts of stuff online. Go ahead and find it. And, if you haven't reached out to Lily in a while, reach out to her and tell her you're proud of her and all the things that she did with the Monday Night Teas and on to bigger and better things. And I've heard some of them. She's very excited. She's going on the road and doing some shows. So, again, you can always follow her at facebook.com/Lily Von Stupp. But the Monday Night Teas, this is weird, because I always used to have that cadence where I'd give her address with the LILI and then the Monday Night Teas. It was just, and it became ingrained in my head and in part of the show. And it was also part of how I spoke. So I had to figure out a way to change it. And so I've been trying to pull away and figure it out. And that's why I substituted that anchor thing, because it also has letters. I didn't know what else to fucking do. So I was able to put that in there. But every week still I'd come back here and I'd tell you about the teas and tell you to buy tickets. And now I'm not going to be able to do that anymore. But, I was proud and happy to be part of those shows. I was very thrilled to be asked to MC and participate whenever Lily had a show. I went there on an anniversary night and I was able to give a heartfelt tribute to her one time. And I was always proud of the things that I did on stage at the Monday Night Teas, whether I was kissing a dude in a commit to the bit moment, or I was having Gibbs scrub my shoes during Tarantino. It was always fucking amazing. So I'll miss it. Los Angeles is going to miss it. And I know Lily's going to miss it, but she's moving on to cooler things and doing a lot of great things where she'll be touring and doing a lot of shows on the road. So if you see her name somewhere for burlesque or comedy, go check out our friend Lily Von Stupp and tell her you love her. And thank her for all the things that she's done for the show and for us and for her and for everybody, for the world. Be that person. Go up to her and say, we are the world and we thank you. And we are the children. And we're the ones who make a better day, so let's start living. There's a choice we're making, folks. We're saving our own lives. It's true. We make a better day. That's you and me. And Lily. Make sure you tell her all that stuff. Tell her I told her do that. When you see her serenade her with We Are the World. That's going to be fantastic. She'll love it. We've got sponsors for this show. Always sponsors. Cool-ass sponsors. Our friend at GetTheButters.com is Jerome. If you use the code 40YOB, you can buy something that you can lube up your hand with to stick it in somebody's holes. That's what you can do with yourself, folks. Butters and balms and bombs and lubes and masks and scrubs and sponges and loofahs and fucking shower caps and footies and foot lotion and cuticle scissors and eyelash curlers and all sorts of badass bullshit that you can get in there. And every single part of it is endorsed and engraved. That's right, endorsed by me and engraved by Jerome with his initials and your initials. You want custom engraving on your butter and balm? He'll go ahead and do it. He'll draw it in there with his finger. Go to getthebutters.com, use the code 40YOB. Get a butter, get a balm, get a lube, get a mask, get a balm, a balm, a balm, a balm. Who put the bomb in the balm, a balm, a balm? Get all of those things at getthebutters.com. Use the code 40YOB, 40YOB, and save. And then it tells him, hey, Mike's a hitter because he got someone to buy a bomb this week. So if you want that cool stuff to lube yourself up or scrub yourself up or get a sugar scrub or something that smells like oranges that you can rub all over your fucking taint, go ahead. Grab it right now at getthebutters.com. Use the code 40YOB. No, don't use the us. Just 40YOB. Now I'm going to try to do this in a professional way. I don't know if I did so last week, because let's put it this way. I haven't heard from Paul yet, so I don't know how he felt about it. But here's the thing. Have you heard about the biggest canine event in the Mid-Atlantic region, folks? The 2017 Mid-Atlantic Brothers in Blue Bash benefiting Protection for Paws. Oh my God. It's going to be absolutely amazing. 800 people, including canine handlers, jugglers. There's going to be whores. There may not be whores. You know why? Because law enforcement professionals and law enforcement supporters are coming from all across the United States to be a part of this incredible event. And you know who they frown on? Whores. Although I'll tell you what, if a group of whores got together and they said, you know what? We're going to blow 100 dudes at $50 a piece and then donate all that money for these dogs and their clothes. You don't think the cops would say absolutely? There'd be a fucking blow booth. There'd be a blowjob booth right at this fucking event. Come on, whores, get your shit together. Raise some money for the dogs. Buy dog clothes. I need whores to get on their knees for dog clothes. Let's do it. Are they out there? And that's male whores or lady whores. I don't care who it is. If there's some guys on Grindr out there who just want to suck a few cocks and donate some cash, by all means, show up at this event. I'm in trouble. All right, so you want to go and use the PayPal address, paypal.me/protectionforpaws, or use protectionforpaws@gmail.com. Tina Richardson's running the whole thing. You can contact her if you want at, let's see, what's her email? She is at, I've got to find it. I know it's somewhere in here. Where is she? Fuck, she's around here somewhere. It doesn't matter. You don't want to email Tina because that would just seem ridiculous, right? Nobody wants to go ahead and contact her because that just seems like it would be out of line. but you can find them at paypal.me/protection4paws. That's the number 4, PAWS. PayPal.me/protection, the number 4, the word PAWS, protection for paws, or use protectionforpaws@gmail.com. And like I said, it's going to be amazing. The event is going to blow you absolutely away. A live auction with incredible one-of-a-kind items from the Steelers, Ravens, Redskins, along with vacation packages. Now, again, this is only if you're in the Baltimore area on September 30th. That's when the event is. But you can give all month long. At those addresses I gave you for PayPal. Donate a small sum and make sure you put in the little thing that the 40-year-old boy sent you because you wanted to go ahead and give a dog a vest or a hat or some gloves or some booties. I saw a fucking dog in LA the other day with socks on. Now look, I like clothes on dogs. I've talked about it before. But socks, that's a bridge too far. That's a bridge over the river sock. I don't like it. And I want David Niven to lead a march, and I want them to sing that fucking what song was fuck. Now why would I even bring it up if I didn't know the fucking song? Didn't they sing the Rubber Tree Plant song? Is that from that fucking movie? I don't know. I haven't seen Bridge Over the River Kwai in a billion fucking years. No, it's isn't that it? I can't whistle, especially not now. Although I was whistling perfectly in tune. Unfortunately, the wind chamber stole that experience from you. I do apologize. You would have heard it. It would have been perfect. So again, folks, please remember there's raffles. You better bring a truck because they're going to be giving away more prizes than you can imagine. 100% of the proceeds goes directly to Protection for Paws. They donate heat systems, Narcan kits, ballistic vests. They donate dogs puppets because sometimes the dogs are, they're off. You've seen fucking Emergency or these old cop shows, and there's all these firemen laying around in a fucking station house cooking chili for one another. You don't think the dogs do that? They go off and they have a puppet show. They smell each other's asses, and they need to wear fancy vests while they do it. You know what? I think they're actually buying fedoras for these dogs. They're buying canine trilbies. Why not donate some money to Protection for Paws? That's PayPal, paypal.me/protection for paws, and protectionforpaws@gmail.com. Please give today, give early, give often, and make sure these dogs have clothes for the winter. Because I'll tell you what, have you ever seen those commercials with those shivering dogs in the cages? That's what we're saving, folks. Sarah McLachlan's on board. She's going to be there at Baltimore in November. She's going to sing a sad song. You're going to cry in your coleslaw. You're going to give every fucking dollar you ever earned. So I can't even say it. So a dachshund can have earmuffs. By all means, get on board with Sarah McLachlan and her amazing voice so she can make sure that a fucking terrier has a goddamn muzzle. All right, so you want to be an Uber driver? Of course you do, right? I've told you enough cool-ass stories that you want to be behind a fucking wheel of a car. Well, then you want to go to Uber.com and use my code DJZW1YTTUE. Jesus Christ, they fucked up the code. DJZW1YTTUE. And that will allow you to become an Uber driver, and then you earn money, I earn money, and then all this cool-ass stuff happens where we both get like bonuses after a few days, or not a few days, after a month of rides. But use that Uber code, that's all lowercase, DJZW1YTTUE, and be the Uber pimp. Like I said, get out there. I got people blowing people for dog money. I got you out there driving for me to go ahead and buy a new fucking microphone. You want to be a Lyft driver? Uber's not good enough for you, huh? You fucking jag-off? All right, then go drive for Lyft. And use the code MIKE720057. That's MIKE720057. That's all caps. MIKE720057. Drive for Lyft, drive for Uber. Get out there. Let me pimp you guys out. Go out and just burn your fucking cars to the goddamn ground in the name of me and this show. Please. And also, you go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com. Look at me not talking about that. Go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com. We got all sorts of cool stuff over there. There's the Joe Business page. We've still got Yurt Dirt Dirt shirts. Now, this is totally true. I wanted to give my Yurt Dirt Dirt shirts to the people in Houston. I was going to just send all of them out there for Hurricane Harvey because, look, 95% of me was trying to help people because I wanted to do a good thing. And then 5% of me thought it would be funny if you turned on the news and you saw some poor kid sitting in a fucking 2-inch puddle and just wearing a fucking Yurt Dirt Dirt shirt. I think that would be hysterical. But I shouldn't make it funny. Instead, it's all about saving people. We know that, correct? But then I looked into the logistics of it and it wouldn't let me do it because they just, here, get this. Listen to the arrogance of these motherfuckers. All of the people in Houston want cash. Who the fuck do you think you are? Are you kidding me? Cash. Apparently the logistics of getting supplies from anywhere else into Houston is very difficult. Now, if you're in Houston and you got a surplus of concert shirts, you could go ahead and give them away. Like I know for a fact, Ralphie May clothed 3 families alone with one of his shirts. Let's take a swipe at Fat Ralphie May. Why not? Ralphie May alone clothed 3 families with one shirt. So he's down there. He can give that sort of stuff away, but they would not take my shirts. I could not find anybody to smuggle them into the city. So there are no homeless people wearing Yurt Dirt Dirt shirts. Eventually, that is my goal. I should just fucking carry them in the car and pass them out to the homeless. Hey, you cold? Take this. Drive off. But then he throws it out, and then I come back later. It's on the ground. Sad. So sad. So I tried. I wanted to send the Yurt Dirt Dirt shirts to Hurricane Harvey, and it did not work out. But so now their loss is your gain. Get these shirts that I actually manufactured in 2013 thinking they were a great idea, and I still have a ton of them in my fucking house. So I'll tell you what, here's the thing. We sell them through the website, but at this point, if you donate like the shipping cost, I'll send you a fucking shirt. Just fucking write me and go, hey dude, you know what, here's where I am. I'll figure out the shipping cost on it, and I'll tell you, you just send it through PayPal, even $10. And then and I'll refund the difference. Because, like, I'll tell you this, our buddy Rick, who I taunted in Canada, I mentioned last week Jerome sent me that beard cream, and then I don't have a fucking beard anymore. So Rick's like, dude, I got a fucking serious beard. I'll go ahead and test that and put it on the Joker's page. I said, well, that's a great idea, except you're in Toronto, and I don't know if you want to fucking shell out the long green for shipping for a bit. And he's like, no, I'll absolutely do it. I would love to do it. So I said, all right, well, just PayPal me $15. And he did, sucker. So no, I have to send him out this fucking beard cream, so he's going to review it and put it on the Joker's page, because why not? Let's give fucking getthebutters.com a little more play, some online play. But that's the way it works. So if you want a fucking shirt, man, just contact me and go, hey, look, I can donate the shipping cost and the envelopes. $10. We'll call it that. You don't even have to buy it to the fucking web. I don't even know what we're selling for. 20, 25? I don't give a fuck. I just want to get rid of them. So tell me your size. If I got it, it's yours. And then just donate $10 so I can buy an envelope and fucking pack it in there and send it off. Unless you're in fucking Canada, which is fucking a whole other kettle of fish, or if you're in England or overseas, because I did send stuff overseas. If you're overseas, I can't do it. But if you're in America, if you're in the continental United States, fuck Hawaii, fuck Alaska, fuck Guam, fuck Puerto Rico. Although Puerto Rico might not even be there anymore. I think Irma walked through and kicked Puerto Rico right in the balls. But yeah, anybody who wants a shirt, fucking PayPal me $10. Tell me you want a shirt. Tell me your size, and I'll send it off. Send me your address. Because I gotta get rid of them. They're in my fucking closet. And I don't... Look, I love them. I love the design. I love the shirt itself. I think I actually love the back more than the front these days, because I love that little fucking Hornboy logo. But at the same time, just seeing them sitting there in a stack... And look, I know our friend Catherine offered to make a quilt, but sending those to fucking Canada is prohibitive, man. That's a lot of dough. So I can't pull the trigger on it right. Fuck, I couldn't even buy a microphone this week. Listen to the tin-ear bullshit you're having to listen to. I sound like I said, I sound like somebody dropped a copper pot. It's fucking awful. So it's just this high-pitched thing, and nobody wants to fucking hear that. But you're listening to it, and you've listened this long. Have you? Perhaps you have. Maybe you bailed. I got no fucking clue. I tried to keep it mercifully short for you guys this week, so nobody has he sues me for an ear problem. But yeah, so I mean, I can't send fucking shirts to Canada. I can't even buy a goddamn microphone. Look what's wrong with me. Go to the website, and if you want a shirt, like I said, do that. We've got all the live stuff for download, for sale. We've still got my CD. I've still got copies of that, for fuck's sake. I got all sorts of cool ass stuff that was cool in 2013, and it's no longer just that cool. So contact me if you want any of that stuff. And of course, we've got really cool stuff like the Heroes album and the Word Pimp Schmitty and the Misanthropic Gangster album. And then more importantly than all of that stuff, and I say that in a rude way, but I don't mean it in a mean way, is the Amazon link. We got the Amazon link. If you guys use that, that truly helps the show a ton. Because you know what? We get money, they get money, you get stuff. I mean, you can't argue with that. And you're going to use Amazon anyway, correct? So just go through, use our fucking link, give me a little bit off the top, let me scalp a little bit, let me Chief Wahoo the shit out of whatever the fuck you're buying. You want to go meta? Buy some Indians gear. Go buy some Cleveland Indians gear and let me fucking scalp it and take some right off the top. I'll Chief Wahoo everything that you buy. But please, use our link. And like I said, they get money, we get money, you get stuff. It works out perfectly. The triangulation, something I've read a lot about the last few months. Please go ahead and get all that stuff. I was telling you, and I should tell you this, because I remember now that I talked about it earlier, and I should finish this thought. I'm playing fantasy football this year because a friend of mine, he's like, I played 3 years ago and I won. I played the next year and I lost, and then I didn't play last year. Because I was like, fuck, it's all luck, whatever the fuck. If your guys get injured, it sucks. Because I got my ass beat 2 years ago. I was fucking terrible. Because my first 2 draft picks got hurt the first week, and then you're dead. I mean, the NFL's a war of attrition. There's nothing you can fucking do about it. But I was talking to my buddy Jimmy O, and I'm like, you know what? This might be the move. It might be fun. Yeah, I'll play. And so I jumped into this league that's an existing league, and he gave me an old team. And, you know, they all have names like, you know, Butkus's Jersey or whatever the fuck. And I'm an idiot. So I decided to take a name from the show. And some of you, I forget, it might have been our friend Dylan or somebody else, I don't know, put this on my page and said it was like the funniest thing where they couldn't stop laughing. And in my head, I thought to myself, well, the only thing funnier than saying it on the show is using it as my fantasy football name. So my fantasy football team name is Globetrotter Rape Train. And my favorite part of it is I found a picture of the Globetrotters on a subway train. Like, they're all like kind of posing almost Cosby Kid style. There's 3 of them, and they're dribbling in the subway station in front of a subway train. And honestly, I was going with that name anyway, but then I was like, well, maybe I'll have Mex create a logo. And I went, well, what the fuck could he draw for Globetrotter Rape Train? But honestly, whatever he drew, it would be beautiful, but it wouldn't be as perfect as the Globetrotters on a subway train with the Globetrotter Rape Train. I fucking love it. So, but here's my thing that I'm so mad about. Nobody's complained. Not one person has said one thing about the fucking name. Not funny or not funny or whatever. Maybe they didn't notice it. Maybe they think it says Rake Train. I have no idea. Or Grape Train. I don't know, because your eyes do that mnemonic where it takes the first letter of the first word and puts it on the second word. Maybe they think it's Lobetrotter Grape Train. I have no fucking clue. Oh, that's not a bad name. Lobetrotter Grape Train. Maybe I changed my name. But I absolutely will not find a picture of the Lobetrotters out in a field of grapes. I guarantee, I don't care how much Google searching you're doing, you will not find the Lobetrotters surrounded by grapes. So yeah, man, I'm telling you, it made me laugh that I made that happen. And so I also, you know what, and all this thing, you know what, let's fucking do this. I was going to do this. How the fuck did I lose my mind? I'm telling you to send me $10 for shirts and shit like that. I got a better idea. Well, let's put it this way. Fuck, because I was trying to think of logistics, because this is on the fucking fly. I thought of it earlier. If you send me $10 for a shirt, I will send you the shirt, and then I will donate to Hurricane Harvey. That $10 will go to Hurricane Harvey. But that's weird. That's the shit. I can't even buy a microphone, and I'm giving money away. I mean, because I texted the Red Cross. I already gave them $10. Look, I'm in charge over there. I already gave these people $10. I'm fucking awesome. I already gave fucking Texas $10. Our friend Joe Vaquera is thrilled with that. He's sitting there right now. He's like, oh man, thank God Mike sent this $10. I feel warm all over the place. And our friend Mary Beth is down there because we have tons of people that are affected. You know what? Fuck that. Don't send me anything for the shirts, and don't and yeah, use Jerome because Jerome's a cool guy. But don't, if you want to use our Amazon link, you don't have to do that. Whatever the fuck. Just give money to these people, man. Give money to the people hurt for Hurricane Harvey and hurt for Hurricane Irma. You know, we gave money to Haiti when there was the huge earthquake there at that time. And I'll do it again this week. If I'll tell you what, if you guys don't want a refund for Patreon, tell me how much you want me to send, and I will send that money to Harvey or Irma or whoever the fuck, the Red Cross, or give me a charity. Let's do that this week. Because these people are fucking, they're ruined. I mean, there's fires all over the goddamn place. The fucking storms are happening. My mom got caught up in fucking in Irma. She, you know, I in my head I was like, well, the storm's not going to hit her. I mean, she's actually way inland, so it's not going to get to her. And then I was driving yesterday. I didn't notice the fact that the fucking storm became 400 fucking miles wide on Monday, I should say, not yesterday. And that it was going to destroy. It was going to cover all of Florida. It's like the size of Ohio on top of Florida. And I'll tell you what, if there's any metaphor for 2017, it's Ohio fucking on top of Florida. Absolutely. Then my mom texted me. Like, I didn't even get to call her, and she's like, hey, we're bailing. Like, we're hitting the road, because they were going to Illinois this weekend anyway. So in a couple days. But they had to fucking split early. And so then I texted her right away, and I called her, and I couldn't get her, and they were driving. So finally I heard from her tonight. And they're in Georgia, sleeping at a rest stop. And I said, Mom, fuck, that's dangerous. I mean, you know, because my mom's fucking 75. My stepdad's 76. And they're like, no, we're good. There's a million people around here. I'm like, that's even worse. Fuck, I don't want people looting your truck. She goes, no, it's like this real sense of community, because they drove 13 hours out of Florida. And they're only in Georgia. They're still 150 miles from fucking Atlanta. She said Dan drove 7 hours in bumper to bumper traffic, like literally not moving. The fastest he went in that amount of time was 50 miles an hour, and that was not for long. And then she thankfully started to drive. Look, it's fucked if my mom's driving the last 6. And she said that she got to go 70 miles an hour. But now they're just outside. They're like 130 miles outside of Atlanta. They're hoping to get there because there was no hotels. They tried. She said everything was fucking shut down. So she's hoping to get to Atlanta and get a place to stay, depending on how much sleep they get in the rest stop. And I got to be honest with you, that alone tells you how fucking badass Irma is. Because if my mom packs up and leaves, you know shit's about to hit the fan. If everything you know about my mom and everything I've told you about my mom is true, you know that if anybody could walk out into their yard and stare down that hurricane and make it turn around and go fucking backwards, it would be my mom. And she decided, you know what, fuck it, we got to pack it up and get the fuck out of here. So this is fucking rough, man. Irma and Harvey, and now I guess Jose and Katia and all these other fucking tropical storms and shit. The fires everywhere. Just, we got to help people, man. We got to do what we can. So fuck me and asking for money. I don't want any money this week. If anything, like I said, you want refunds, designate to me. I'll give your Patreon money when it comes at the end of the month, and I'll send it off to fucking the Red Cross or whomever. I can't do it again, like I said, for a couple of weeks, but I'll do it. Just fucking mark it, and we'll keep a running tally on the Joker's page, or I'll let you guys know somehow on the show, and we'll get a running tally of how much we give, and then at the end of the month I can give it. But that's for Patreon people. If you don't give to Patreon, there's nothing I can do for you. I can give well wishes and send them a shirt, but I can.
There's nothing lonelier than being trapped inside yourself. It's easier to hide when you pretend you're the knight. Women love a guy with a giant neck.
We here, we are playing on a level that most will never see.